Mandy's giving you kisses? Oh, man. It all looks good. Everything's locked up. He's kind of like crouching towards you, so be careful. You don't want to be back here. You want to be out there. Out the door.
But it's okay.
Can you see out the door? Woo. Good thing you have a short tail.
Oh, we are high stepping.
All right, so you got to get him out of here before you can...
He's not shiftable on his own, so he would have to do it on his own. I'm going to wait till he gets further away, though.
Can you go to 3?
Switching. Go ahead.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carole Baskin at Big Cat Rescue, and as you just saw, Manny Jaguar just got released out of the transport. Dr. Justin had consulted with, and I'm sorry I can't give credit to whoever it was because I didn't see who it was, but with somebody about his eye from last night. And so they have him on a course of medications for it. Obviously, we can't put drops in his eyes because he's just too reachy and grabby and would kill somebody. And so that means that if these meds don't work, they would have to take the eye, which would be a huge surgery, and we would hate for that to happen. I'm going to have to be kind of quiet back here because I want him to shift all the way down so they can shut the doors behind him. I'm glad to see that he's able to navigate the doors okay. We suspect that there are a couple of things going on with Manny. One is that he may have hypertension. It's very hard, according to Dr. Justin, to tell when a cat is sedated whether or not they have hypertension. You need to do it while they're awake in their resting state, and just like when you take your own blood pressure. But that wasn't possible with him. You can't put a pressure cuff on a big cat and expect them not to eat it. I'm going to go around the other side because I don't want to be scaring him from coming in that area. That's the area you want him, right? If he goes through that door. Okay. He stopped, so I'm going to move away. Before we can take the transport away from the door here, we need to make sure that he's completely away from us. And he's really hard to shift, so hopefully he will choose to go over there, and Emma is already with him to drop the door down behind him so that we can safely remove the transport. The other thing going on with him is that he was constipated. And so that can be from the hypertension, that could be from not getting enough to drink, as it's gotten, it's gone from being very cold to very hot, very cold. Today it was very cold today. And it's been so dry here. So even though he's got water bowls everywhere, he just, for the last 2 days, whoops, still feeling a little woozy there. The last 2 days, he didn't feel like getting up out of his den, so he wasn't getting the water he needed, which meant he was quite constipated. When Jamie and Victor came out, before the vet got here, they were able to get him up and out of his den, because those big hilltop dens, we've blocked him out of those while we're going through this intensive treatment with him. But there'd be no way to sedate him if he were in those dens, and so they had managed to get him up, and he was able to poop on his own, which was really hard for about the first 6 inches or so. And then Dr. Justin, when he saw it on the x-rays, he gave him an enema. And it was loose enough that he felt like he could expel the rest on his own. So that's good. And we gave him just a whole bunch of fluids, 2 or 3 bags of fluids yesterday, which would help soften that up and get him rehydrated again. Yeah, you're going to make it hard for us, aren't you, Manny? So I'm going to go the whole way down. So he's being treated for the high blood pressure, and he will be on the sickle list to be sure that he gets a blood sickle every day. He was frequently getting sickles before, but he wasn't one of the mandatory has to get one every day kind of cats, and now he is. We will keep a really close eye on him. I was concerned because he only moved here about a week, maybe 10 days ago. And I was concerned that the high blood pressure would be associated with stress. And so I was reading up on that. First, I researched high blood pressure in jaguars. As you can imagine, there's nothing on that. So I searched high blood pressure in cats, and it said it can cause a spike. A stress can cause a spike in high blood pressure, but it's not something that is continual. Hi, are you happy to be back home? Yeah, so happy to be back home. Oh, we're peeing. Okay. He's going to be doing a lot of peeing because he has all those fluids in his system. He had a high white blood cell count, so he got antibiotics for that. All of this could also be related to his kidney values did not look good. Last time he was sedated, he didn't have bad kidneys, but now they're looking pretty bad. So all of that is kind of compounding, and we're trying to deal with each issue without causing more stress on the other issue. For those of you who are a certain age, you know how that goes. You take medication for one thing, and then it makes something else worse. I think all in all, he looks pretty good, though. All right, I'm going to leave him alone if I can figure out how to get out of here. I guess I need to go over and check on the transport cage and see how they're doing with that. Whoever put this new gate in here, thank you. Thought I was going to have to go a long way to get out. He is just not about to do anything that we ask him to do. It's so cat-like. I love that. Howie's out giving a tour this morning. Afton's trying to coax him through that door so they can shut it. She's so close. Using their best high-pitched voices for calling him. Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun over here. Come check this out. He took his meds this morning, but I don't think he's had a full meal yet. Since you were able to get this door shut here, I think you can just throw a lock on it and pull that away.
I have 6 clips on it. I have 2 more, but I just can't reach to it. We have a ton of locks that hold this together. It's hard to throw a bunch, and what I can do is if she stays within, so I know where he is, I can just start working on it.
I think he's not going to come anywhere near you. I know you got your meds in him. Was he, did he get his full meal, or is he waiting on that yet?
No, he was more like kind of just mad eating a little bit.
We'll take it any way we can get it.
And he has to get more meds now, so I'm glad he's still moving.
He had himself a very good long pee back there in the back.
Did he?
Yes. It's like, oh man, I've been crossing my legs. I can never figure out those ratchet straps. I hope you know how. He is very stubbornly sitting just the other side of the door that we want him to go through back there. As many of you know, last night Dr. Justin came because we had 3 cats that were really doing poorly. Priya Tiger, Manny Jaguar, and Gilligan. And much to my surprise, Gilligan ate like nothing had ever been wrong that day. And we had been trying to feed him off of a stick for weeks now because he just won't eat his food off of a plate and acts like he can't see it. And then I was told yesterday he came right over to the plate, ate like a champ, and was perfectly fine. So he didn't need to see the vet yesterday anyway. And of course, we just went over everything that was going on with Manny. He had some kind of a episode a few days ago and went into his den and then just stopped eating or drinking or doing anything because he was so constipated. And what we discovered is that he may have hypertension. He's lost eye shine in one of his eyes. And I don't know if that could be from a dislocated lens. There's a little bit of blood in the eye right now. I know that's happened to me before from high blood pressure where I've had blood vessels bust in the eye. So he was acting like he couldn't see very well, was running into his den and running into the walls yesterday. And so he's now on high blood pressure medicine. He's getting blood sickles every day. He's got a lot of fluids on board and antibiotics to see if we can get him through this spell. In the x-rays, it was so hard to tell whether or not the cancer is returned because of the fact that there was so much poop in his intestines, and that's where his cancer had been before. His lungs did not look great, but that could have just been because of the anesthesia, and so we'll have to be keeping an eye on that. He's not coughing or wheezing or having a hard time breathing today, so that's good. And then, of course, Priya, she was 19. She would turn 20 this year. You may have heard me talking about her being 19 or being 20. It's because every year I go through all of the cats and I update them at one time for that age that they will become in that year. And then because I'd never be able to keep track of all of the different cats and their different birthdays. I know we celebrate their birthdays, but keeping that straight in my head, it's easier to do it one time a year. So anyway, she had been in kidney failure for a while and had been declining in her food. We were having to beg her to eat, trying all different kinds of foods that she doesn't usually eat. And I think the reason is because the kidney failure was causing her to feel so nauseous. We found her eating a lot of grass and licking her lips all the time, which are indicators that she felt nauseous. And so, people were like, well, she's stalking squirrels. That's so cute. Maybe she wants some kind of different meat. And I think the thing is, everything that we offer her, all of her usual foods, would make her feel so bad that she was like, God, I got to try something else. And it wasn't that anything else was ever going to help her. It was just because everything was going to make her feel gross when she ate it. And I can't see allowing a cat to suffer that way. So even though she looked pretty good otherwise and was, up and walking around, she had lost most of her social behaviors because she just felt so bad. And there's no reason why any of these cats that we are taking care of should ever have to feel bad. If we can't fix it, then we owe it to them to relieve their suffering. Deb asked me yesterday if it ever gets easier to euthanize a cat, and I told her it doesn't. And you could see it in our vet. I'm sure he has to euthanize way more cats or other animals than we would ever have to with our limited population because he works for the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. So, you've got all kinds of animals being brought in that are on death's door, and the only humane thing to do is to euthanize them. But even with that, you could just see it all over his face, how hard it was. So please be kind to our staff and volunteers and our vet right now. Let them grieve this in peace without having to answer hundreds or thousands of emails and texts and DMs from people. It never gets any easier. The only way we can do it at all is because we know that we are ending their suffering. And so she went very peacefully, and I think that's the best that we can expect to do for them. And he's like, would you please quit talking? Just go someplace else, lady. I'm keeping an eye on him so that they can hog ring the door shut. On a much lighter and brighter note, Give Day is next month, and I should have looked to see when Give Day is, and I forgot to do that before I came out here. But it's 2 weeks from now. So Give Day is our first big fundraiser every year, and we just sent out our 2-week advance Give Day email. I think we have something like $28,000 in matching funds. So people who donate between now and through Give Day, if you get your money in first, it'll be matched up to $28,000. If you did not get an email from me this morning about Give Day, actually Katie sent it because Katie did an awesome job on it. Thank you, Katie. If you did not get that email this morning, that means one of two things. One is somehow you have managed to fall off of our list, or we're in your spam folder. So go look in your spam folder and type in Give Day or Big Cat Rescue and see if you can whitelist us so that we don't end up in your spam folder, because when we have important information to share with you, we want to be able to reach you. So if you did not get an email from me this morning, please check your spam folder, whitelist us, and if it's not there and you want to know when things are happening here at the sanctuary, go to bigcatrescue.org/join, bigcatrescue.org/join. Naja says she got it. Kathy says my server says her email's not valid. What? That's crazy. We know your email is valid. Why is our server not recognizing that? Edith got hers. Jen got hers. And as Deb just posted, the goal is $86,600 for heated dens and platforms. So a lot of people have been complaining about how it's not as lush in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, as it is here in Florida. But if you look at the way our cats live in their cages, they live on their platforms. They don't live in the trees or in the bushes, unless you're Bailey. And that's a whole other issue. But they love their platforms, their tree houses, and their dens. And so that's what we're raising money for, is to build those at Turpentine Creek in Eureka Springs, so that when our cats get there, they're going to have all kinds of new fun things to do, new places to check out. And what's so amazing about the Freedom Field is the views from there. You can just see for what seems like hundreds of miles. It's right on the top of a mountain. And there are going to be, they've planted 62 big trees up there. And of course, we'll be planting more trees and bushes and whatnot. But this is going to help us do that. I think we set a goal of 100,000 actually. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think 86.6 is what we're projecting the cost of the dens and the heated dens and the platforms to be. How long does it take to ring a door, girls? They got to be close to done. Of course, with Manny, you want to make sure that like every single square is ringed. Karen says she's gotten no email yet. Mary Bogomil, I was spelling your name wrong. I was looking through my emails yesterday to see if I had an email address for you, because Howard was so thrilled with the food you made yesterday for the volunteers during Volunteer Appreciation Week. It was a vegetable spaghetti. I'm sorry, you ready for check?
Yeah.
Yay! And Greek salad and a pasta salad and bread. It was amazing. And so he wanted to thank you, Mary, and I was spelling your name incorrectly. So that's why he hasn't done that yet. Look at this. Lots and lots of shiny rings. Nobody is coming through this door.
It's not opening.
All right. Looks good. Thank you. All right, well, thank you for joining us. Because it is Give Day, I have Give Day's coming up in 2 weeks. I have a whole bunch of work to get some shorts and reels ready to advertise that. These are kind of fun. They're videos of our cats in their dens or on their platforms. I see Kemba way back there in the back. And how he's doing the voiceovers. So as soon as he's through with his tour, he can get back to doing voiceovers, and we'll have those all ready to go out so you guys can see all of our cats. These are 15-second clips, which seem to be the ones that go viral the most. I hope you guys, when you see them, will like them and share them. Help us get the word out there about Give Day. It's our biggest it's our earliest, maybe not our biggest fundraiser of the year. I think our annual appeal might be bigger. But it's desperately needed because we have to keep up all of the expenses here at the sanctuary, which are running like $3.5 million a year. And we're investing $1.8 million in the new cages at Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge. They're bigger than the cages our cats have here currently. And it's going to be a very expensive endeavor to move them there, as far as like getting that all built out with all of the infrastructure and everything. If you haven't done it yet, please go to turpentinecreek.org. Be sure you join all of their social channels because we are cross-posting a lot of stuff. And I want you guys to be able to see all of the improvements as they happen there. I just did a whole bunch of 22 videos for Turpentine Creek showing the way they do things, which I'm sure you guys all want to know about, and all of the new constructions going on. It's very exciting stuff. Thank you everyone for joining us and sharing all of this information and helping us get through this very difficult year as we make the transition from Tampa to Eureka Springs. Love you guys. Mwah.